Hello all, Game Methuselah. I just want to do a short video here as we hit the weekend and talk a little bit about gaming. As I said in my first video, I just wanted to start doing a whole series of talking about different types of games. The things I love, the things you guys love, what you want to hear about, what you're looking for, the old war stories from the Dark Ages and the like. And sometimes I feel like I sway away from that. I'm doing writing and I'm trying to do videos on how to and sometimes I'm missing maybe the essence of what I wanted to talk about. And a lot of it was reminded to me this week when I started reading a lot and watching a few videos being called the Matt Mercer effect, which I think is unfair to Matt. I think the whole community, if nothing else, has really been the driving force for building all these videos and getting people out there streaming, figuring that they can, be part of getting their voice out into the gaming world. And some are successful and some are not. Now, the whole Matt Mercer effect, I guess, is that DMs are lamenting that players are coming to them who are watching Critical Role and other video streamings and coming with a very high expectation of what your game is going to be like. Is it going to be like Matt Mercer's game? Or is it going to be like Matt Colville's game? Or, how is it going to play? If I play my character exactly like one of the characters in Critical Role, am I going to have the same outcome? I think in a lot of cases, most game masters need to realize this has nothing to do with your game. These players may never have experienced any gaming before, let alone role-playing, which is an entire universe on itself. They're coming with some levels of expectation, but more importantly, I think what they're looking for is to sort of figure out what everybody's looked for in role-playing games from the very beginning when I was playing it back in the early 70s. How do I fit in? I want to do something that's fun and interesting and join into this great game and be part of the experience and enjoy myself, but I'm not 100% sure what to do. So they're looking for guidance. I think my initial question on anybody who asks about any other DM's game would be, what did you like about his game or her game? What was fun in that game that you played that you want to have happen again? It's good to understand what the players are looking for. If they're looking for a big, immersive theater of the mind, role-playing experience with very little combat, certain DMs are not going to want that. Really, myself. I do a lot of role-playing, and we have a lot of fun with it, but I look at the game first and foremost as a game. Sometimes that means that there feels like I might be looking for a winner and a loser, but that's not really the case. What I'm looking for is that great story being told, but not by me. I don't want to sit and pontificate at you and tell you how cool I am because I drew this neat map and this great concept and I have these undergrounds. If I'm going to do that, I might as well write a book, which I guess I'm sort of trying to do. But the secret is, it's that interactive experience that I'm looking for. I don't mind theater of the mind. We play Call of Cthulhu right now, and I'm going to do a video soon on Call of Cthulhu because I enjoy it. But it's almost totally theater of the mind. It goes against almost everything I like in gaming. It's almost always talking. It's almost that interactive with the game master to see if you can outsmart the adventure. The thing about it is, if it comes down to combat, very likely you're going to lose. They're not always sure when they're new to a game what's anticipated in the game, or are they really going to like it? But when players come to you, they want to know, what kind of game are you going to run? Am I going to enjoy it? Am I going to fit in, or am I going to botch up your game? And is it worth my time to play? And that's all fair. I think it's important to realize that this is a hobby for people. I love playing games. I love playing board games and miniature games and role-playing games and computer games because to me, I want to play. And when players are coming from the spectator role and now wanting to step out and become a game master, or they want to just play, they want to make sure that they understand what they're doing and that they're going to enjoy it. This is going to be a hobby they're going to stay with. You shouldn't be intimidated by that if they come to you and ask you these questions. Answer truthfully. This is the kind of game I run. I like what they do on Critical Role, and maybe this is what I do. Or I like what they do with Matt Colville's game, and this is how my game is similar. Or this is how my game is different. And maybe they're going to like it, and maybe they're not. But you have to point out to them that it is their interaction to the game that determines how good the game is going to be. It's not just you. It's not just Matt Mercer. It's Matt Mercer and all his people. Now, how they got started in their game, how they became so competent, is because they've played together a lot. Now, they may have had individual goals originally, and the goals may change as they moved on. I remember when Matt Colville was dealing with Matt Mercer when he was the writer at Turtle Rock, and they were coming looking for voice work. And Matt says, hey, I'm a DM. Why don't you guys come on over and I'll run a one-off for you. And Matt's a really good DM. And they came and they played. And I asked Matt, I said, hey, how did the game go? And he goes, it was okay. I guess they liked it, but, it just, whatever. And that is always the crux of role-playing. The people who love playing with me, they more likely go over and sit with Matt Mercer and go, meh, okay, it was fun. He was good. It was okay. It was colorful. We liked the voices. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that you have honed a group down to the point that they want the campaign that you're running. I was lost with Matt because I would always ask Matt's group, hey, what do you guys want to play? I'm pretty diverse. I can run, all kinds of sci-fi or fantasy or horror, whatever kind of role-playing you want to do. I have different game systems I could use. What would you like? And Matt would say, run the game you want to run, because if you're loving the game, everybody playing in the game is going to love the game. And that's really a true statement. The more you enjoy what you do, the more you enjoy your role-playing game, the more people are going to be sucked in who play. Now, a lot of people are going to come, they're going to play, they're going to go, nah, who cares? I had that happen really just recently when I was playing for a electronic game company down in Irvine, and we were playing, about twice a month. And everyone seemed to be having a good time. We were running my Twilight of Fate campaign. And then, everyone just sort of kind of like, we're not really interested. Now, am I a bad DM? They may have thought so. Was I not interesting or exciting enough? Who knows? The point is, it wasn't what they were looking for at the time. I wasn't the game master that they wanted. They wanted something else. Now, maybe they wanted Matt Mercer. Maybe they wanted something else they had played in the past, and they were trying to rekindle the juices of games they played in latter days. I've often felt that way. I mean, there's many things I'd love to see played that I did 30 years ago. But that's not likely to happen. The rules have changed. Things have evolved. A lot of people, when they talk to me, they love to hear the old war stories about the good old days. To take a quote that Matt has, which I think is really very accurate, these are the golden ages of gaming. Right now, it is better than it ever was before. It's not new, so that sort of new excitement that I had with D&D in the 70s, and later with a game called Magic the Gathering, when it came out, it was so new that for a reasonable period of time, nobody else wanted to play anything but that. I watched people give up miniature collections to come down and trade them in so that they could buy Magic cards. They'd give you computers. They'd sell almost anything they had, whatever, to get more Magic cards. It was a fun game. I enjoyed it. We built a whole hobby business on it. I ran tournaments every week. We had sealed deck things. I loved it. But it was just the newest fad, the new shiny pretty that came out that people were excited about. What you really want to stay with are the games you love playing week after week with the people you enjoy playing. Because remember, if you think you're going to a game to get something, you're only going to get something if you pour something into the game of your very own. But most players want to stretch their game. Even the pros who've been around forever. But even a very experienced gamer is looking to stretch what they're able to do within your game. That's going to make you always feel uncomfortable because you are wanting to keep things within the box and simple and understandable for you so that you don't lose track. The players are going to try to build something super satisfactory for them, to give them that feeling of that I've created something truly unique. If you go to any of the living games and watch Adventure League, you see this all the time, of running their game in their own mind, because they're going down the same module everybody else is, but they want to build this character that is so unique that it makes this game very appealing for them. That didn't necessarily exist in the 70s as much because people were thrilled with just playing. But for the most part, people wanted to feel like they were able to reenact some Lord of the Rings-esque fantasy that they had since they were very young, myself included. And I think that's what players bring to the game for you. Don't feel intimidated by them. And if you're a player, definitely speak out. Tell them, I would love to see this in a game. Does that seem like something that might happen, or something that I could engineer or help that I could lead the campaign to? Because that makes the best game. The DMs usually burn themselves out because they get so worried that they're not doing enough, that they don't understand to sort of back off and let the players sort of drive the story and get it out there, and let you manipulate around that to make a great game. We live in the renaissance of gaming. This is the best time to be a DM running role-playing games there's ever been. There's so many game systems. There's so much out there. There's so many new players. You only want 5 or 6. So look for players when they come to you and say, hey, I want to play. Hey, come on down and play. See what you like. Let us know if this is what fits into your group. If it is, welcome back. If it's not, hey, I can recommend people who might do things that you like. That's how the hobby grows. But for you wanting to get into it as a hobby, find a group, check them out, go play. Go to a hobby shop and say, hey, is anybody looking for a player? Get involved and enjoy the game. Play. That's the real key. You can play, you can go back and look at the videos and say, I like this, I like that. Bring that to the conversation and see if everybody's game can be stepped up to a point where everybody's having a better time. There's other things you can add, of course, with the miniatures and everything else, but that's always up to you. The point is, don't be intimidated. It's not Matt Mercer or anybody else out there who's driving this hobby. It's the fact that we now have a social media that gets the information out all over the world, that people can talk to each other and interact on what's going on in their games. So everything is growing exponentially. Be part of that growth. Be part of including people in your game, making it excellent for them, and giving them an opportunity to play the kind of games they want. They'll be happier, you'll be happier, and more gaming will take place. Hope this was somewhat useful. I had to jump into this conversation because it was out there, and I hate to be controversial. But until we have a chance to speak again, fight me, devils, fight, for I hate peace. Game on.